This is what a MAGA mind is.
Brand spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Why? Oh, yeah, they're all. Here's this guy right here in his brand new Lexus.
There he is,
there
right
he
there.
is, right there. That guy right
It's
there.
what Make America Great Again has always meant to certain people. It's never been about patriotism. It's always been about hierarchy, about making sure black people stay in a place that makes them comfortable. Because let's be honest, imagine living in a country where 400 years you receive every privilege available. Free labor for almost 2 centuries, millions of acres of free land through the Homestead Act, government assistance when black folks were excluded, white veterans received GI Bills as sent them to college when black veterans who served the country faithfully did not, white home ownership through FHA loans that black people didn't get while black families were redlined into poverty. There was affirmative action for white folks long before the phrase was ever even created. Let me name a few more. Tax benefits, union protections, government contracts, social security programs that originally excluded black labor, corporate subsidies, banking systems built on predatory denial of black
people know more about white people than white people know about themselves. As a white South African who grew up during apartheid, the first time I ever heard this phrase, instinctively, I knew it was true. But intellectually, I couldn't have told you why. It took me years of reading and thinking and researching and listening to be able to decades even, to unpick and unravel it. If you want to join me on my journey, please drop me a follow. I've just had to restart my channel here on TikTok, and I would love to be joined by as many passionate anti-racists as possible. It's only by talking about racism, by taking it apart and understanding it in its entirety, that we can ever have any hope of moving past it.
policing designed to guard white prosperity and the unspoken privilege of always being seen and deserving, and all that for generations. And yet here we are, after everything designed to hold us back, we still here. It makes them a failure. We're still educating ourselves, still building businesses. It makes them a failure. Still growing wealth, still buying homes, still pulling up in our Lexuses. That makes them a failure. We still thrive in the ways this country has never planned for us to thrive, and it makes them feel like failures. Because that's what they are. That's why it bothers them, because to them, our success is what it is. It makes them failures. They feel better when they can look down on us. They feel safer when we have to struggle. They feel whole when we are broken. So when they say make America great again, what they are really saying is let's go back and reset the hierarchy. Let's put them back in their place, which is beneath us. Let's strip away any progress that they've made. Let's take away all their rights, all their opportunities, all the wins that make them feel equal. Because for us to feel equal, it makes them feel like failures. Because they've had every advancement known to man, and yet here we are, and that's why our
Black success is scary. That's why they demonize black successful people, black successful families. It's scary. And a lot of people that are non-black, and especially non-black Americans, demonize successful, happy, joyful black people. And the reason why it's scary, because so many people have done black Americans wrong, that with success, what are we going to do with it? What is a black person going to do with success now that they got the power to get back? People assume that a black person is going to wield the sword of knowledge the same way they did and be evil. People assume that when a black person gets in some sort of power position that we're going to utilize that power to put others down because that's what they did. And I'm getting tired of every time there's a thread of a black conversation, it's full of non-black American people. Like, what makes you think your point of view is valid? You are a part of the conversation that is being talked about. You don't have any solution. And if you have a chip on your shoulder about black people and you're non-black Americans, we don't care about your thoughts, and you're not going to stop anything. Be easy.
I think there are 2 reasons why people don't like Black Americans. The first reason is very obvious to me, and it's because Black Americans call shit out. If you're a culture vulture, if you disrespect them, if you steal from the culture and try to reinvent it as your own, they will call you the fuck out. If you are a non-white person that's letting white people walk all over you and be racist towards you, they will call it out. But y'all don't like a mirror being held to you. You don't like accountability, and you don't think Black Americans have any right to check you. The second reason is because the parasite class has made it their mission to demonize them because they have been the ones fighting white supremacy, the thing that they need to be wealthy since they got here. And now look, fascism is winning right now It's all over America. You're being attacked by your own military. But Black Americans chose to sit down and y'all are clutching your pearls because you don't know what to do.
Something usual is happening in the farming world, and not many people are talking about it. While some farmers are struggling to stay afloat, others are finding new ways to succeed. The gap is racing tough. The gap is being applauded, and there's some tough question being asked, and even some tough emotion. Is it really about who is winning and who is losing? Or is there something deeper going on? Today, we are going to break down the truth behind the tension, the struggle, and the success of black community and white community. Because we have been seeing that the white community, they are complaining, saying that why are the black community being successful while the white community, the white people, we are struggling all over. We are going to break it down, but before we go far, I will urge you, don't forget to subscribe and share for more and more. Let's take a look at these clips, then we'll come back for more and more discussion.
Why do white people resent Black excellence? Let's talk about it. Not all white people are racist, obviously, but there is a specific subset for whom Black excellence seems like a personal affront to them, right? It really bothers them when Black people succeed. The 13th Amendment emancipated enslaved Black Americans in 1865, and then the Jim Crow laws kind of wrapped up with the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. So if we do the math, that's about 61 years in which Black Americans were able to strive for success in any sort of meaningful way without like the constraints of the law pulling them down. 61 years. If we compare that to white Americans who besieged a land already owned and occupied by indigenous Americans, we'll put that around 1620 when, the Mayflower came here, then that gives them about 425 years to establish success in this country. 425 versus 61. If we compare those two fundamentally very different time spans, like how much did white Americans actually do in all of that time? If we are to compare even the poorest and most underprivileged of white America to Black America generally, it is clear that white Americans are born way past the start line, right? By that I mean, by like nature of being white in American society, you do benefit from all sorts of privileges. And like, to be frank, you're not exhausted by the horrible experience of facing racism on a daily basis, right? You do have a ton of privileges. So I imagine existing in this bubble of privilege that you like totally deny, the existence of Black people for whom success is like second nature when it comes so easily and so readily, even though you've only had 61 years to achieve it, I imagine that's exhausting and frustrating. I imagine it makes people feel super, super inferior and hurts certain people's tiny, tiny little egos. And what do they blame that deep, deep psychic pain on? Well, of course, DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action. So I guess the question is, what might help those white Americans who just so strongly detest Black excellence? Like, what will help you? And for that, I would suggest like a lot of therapy, like a ton of therapy. And I would also just suggest that we open the schools, right? We teach people history. Yeah, maybe? Okay, bye.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? First off, I want to say thank you to everybody that liked and commented on the other video. It's doing big numbers. I appreciate it. I couldn't get to everybody, but I really appreciate the engagement. I always believed in using analogies as ways to paint what I was trying to convey. And so, I just found it an easier way to kind of get my message across. And so I want to use it in this same video where I want to now convey to white America why Black people have this certain feeling towards white America and Black Americans' feelings towards reparations. Now, of course, I can't speak for everybody, but the consensus. So for white America, I want you to understand this. I want you to take Animal Planet. I want you to take a lion and a gazelle. Do you ever see a gazelle just stand there as the lion walks up? No. Why? Because for generations, the lion has been ripping the gazelle apart. The lion has been chasing it down and eating it for generations. The gazelle does not trust the lion whatsoever. Why? Because it has been a predator. So do you think that one day that a lion walks up and says, hey, gazelle, we don't eat gazelle anymore. You're tripping. Stop running away from us. And then a gazelle looks at the corner of his eye and see another lion chewing on another gazelle. What do you think the gazelle is going to do? Run. Get away from me. No, I don't want you by me because I don't trust you. I don't trust that I could go to sleep and wake up alive. So until the lion starts to transform its behavior and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to start eating these leaves and these berries and these plants over here, and I'm not going to eat another gazelle. The gazelle is not going to trust you. It's just what it is. All right? So you have to change your nature. Your nature is not displaying trust. And this has been generations of abuse. So no, you can't just one day go, we're not like that anymore, we're going to trust you. You can't go, oh, well, that was my father and father's father and father's father. You know, that was my ancestors that used to eat gazelles. No, you're still eating gazelles. You may not be eating gazelles. You may be the exception. You may be the one that be eating plants and berries and stuff. But you got to look around and see the other lions. The other lions are still eating gazelle. So until you're walking up to them other lions and paw slapping them, hey, stop doing that. That's what the relationship is going to be. You can't ask the mouse to be friends with the cat. That's only going to work in Tom and Jerry. When it comes to reparations, now I'm only talking for foundational Black Americans. I'm not talking about immigrant Africans that have come over here. And if you're an immigrant African, your family, but at the same time, your opinion and your input on reparations is invalid. We don't need to hear your opinion. I mean, you can support, but you're not entitled to any of that money. You're not entitled to any of that equity. You're not entitled to any of it. If you've come over here, yeah, you're probably going to get treated like us anyway because you look like us. You are us. We're family. But we didn't grow up in the same culture. We didn't have the same lineage of oppression. So whatever oppression that you might have came from in Haiti, in Jamaica, or whatever, I can't claim that. I can't claim the oppression of another country because I wasn't there. And if I move over there, I didn't experience it for generations. So stand down, please. Now, to white America, look at us as your mafia loan shark. Okay? You borrowed from us. Now, I'm using borrowed very loosely because the real word is kidnapped. But you borrowed from us. You took 300 years of free labor, built generational wealth, built equity, built power. And then when it was time to pay what was due, you didn't pay up. 40 acres and a mule, didn't get it. When we have places like Tulsa and places, Atlanta, burned to the ground. When we have civil rights, we have white people that are claiming Native American status to get in. When we're talking about DEI, white women are at the top of that list. Black people at the bottom of that list. We were not given what was owed. So we are that mafia loan shark because what? You thought that it was going to just die out with the slave owners? No, it passes to the next of kin. Pay up. And it's going to continue to pass to the next of kin until we are paid what is owed. And we're going to keep coming for that ass again. So, and honestly, to the white nationalists and the people that believe that America is just for the white people, You should be some of the biggest champions for reparations. You know why? Because the moment that you give us that money, we can stop looking in the past and start looking to the future. We can no longer throw this in your face. I mean, of course, we can still bring it up because it's history, just like the Holocaust. But we can move forward. We can take steps to move forward. If you want us out of the country so bad, pay us. I'm pretty sure a good portion of us would be glad to go somewhere else. Everything that you're looking for us to shut up, for us to not be bringing up racism no more and all this, if you want all of this to stop, pay us. We can alleviate all of this like immediately. But there's that thing called ego. That ego will not allow you to take accountability and going, hey, why should I pay for something that happened in the past because you're still benefiting? Now, you may be thinking, I grew up poor. I grew up broke. But there's still a level of privilege that you got that me or any other foundational Black American didn't get. We walk into the same places, we get treated differently. You get treated with a smile, I get treated with a scowl and a frown. You get treated as if you're safe, I get treated as if I'm violent and I'm unhinged. No difference, we don't have to have a difference in personality. Me and you could literally be clones. You just came out white and I just came out black, and I will get treated as the outcast. Has nothing to do with personality or anything, intelligence, value. It's just a mindset of colorism. White people have established power in this country for you to continue to benefit from and us to be subjugated to negatively. We've had to fight to vote, fight to be included, fight to learn, fight to exist. And you cannot understand what that energy feels like unless you're one of us. Because when you have to constantly fight, that means you're constantly uncomfortable. You're constantly on guard. And that's not a very enjoyable way to live. But we continue to strive and we continue to propel ourselves forward. So I only say that message to say, listen, I want equality. I want love across the board. But until we address all the negativity and the egregious things that happened in the past, we can never move forward in the future.
Learn when to shut the fuck up sometimes. The Black Americans that have so much smoke for Black immigrants, for Africans, for Caribbeans, are those same Black people on your timeline exercising that same level of smoke for the white people occupying Black cities? Do they have that same energy for Charlie Kirk supporters that are attacking Black people, that are threatening HBCUs, that are threatening Black communities? I just want y'all to look around on your timeline, in your friends list, in your mutuals. I want y'all to count how many Black people, Black Americans, that were angry at Black immigrants the other week are equally angry with white supremacists that are actively threatening, attacking us, that are firing Black people. I want y'all to count how many times people that claim to be Black American with us are actually standing with us when we're being attacked by white supremacy. I want y'all to count how many of them are trying to urge us to go to war with the diaspora and to be against other Black people from other nations. I want y'all to compare the two. I want y'all to pay attention to how many of those Black people are the same Black people. All my fellow Black Americans, how many Black Americans that talk to us about immigrants taking our resources and being against us, how many of those same Black Americans have that same smoke for Donald Trump or Charlie Kirk supporters, for all these white supremacists that are coming for us? You can't be standing up to other Black people because they come from another country and speak another language. But then you transform into a punk-ass bitch when these white supremacists are actually threatening us with violence, with economic harm, with physical harm. Y'all can't be pussy when it's time to stand up to white supremacy and be tough and be badass when it's time to get into other ethnic minorities.
Farming, there are some things that we have to consider. We look at. Welcome back. When it comes to especially a section of farming, there are some things that we have to consider, we have to look up at, so that we may see which one makes these people to be successful and which one makes people to keep on crying all over. We have things like economic pressure in rising globally. In economic pressure, we have some more things that we can talk about it. But we're going to talk at the main theme about economic pressure. Why am I going to talk about? Let's talk about market instability. Now we know the main reason that farmers are crying all over is the main reason is about inflation, market instability, especially on the side of market instability. Their market is not stable. First of all, because they can be planting, but no place to sell the things that they have been planting. Especially, let's talk about the soybeans. And even though we have been seeing that there has been many scenarios that has been happening in USA, the farmers, they are crying that they want back immigrants, because we know during there was a time that Donald Trump put more restriction on our border of and they deported immigrants, and now it's saying that they see that the importance of those immigrants. So the farmers, they don't have immigrants. That's why they are crying, because they don't know, they don't have some people who can work on their farm, and their market is unstable. They don't have stable market that they can sell their goods. There are many things that can lead to the success of black people, while the white people, they are crying all over. We're going to talk more and more about what might be making the white people crying over the success of black people. But for today, I won't take much of the time. But what I will urge you, just if you are a black people, just comment we black people stand firm as black people, so that we can encourage black people, and we believe we black people, we are successful people. Just leave a share and a comment. Without forgetting to subscribe for the channel, because you're the ones who makes me to be here. You're the ones who makes me to do this content. It's your presenter and commentator, Global Arrow. Just don't forget to be the next one to see my next episode by clicking the subscribe button for more and more. Peace out, guy. I love you.